What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only, Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. Welcome to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate you guys for all of your love and support. Over 1,600 episodes and 500,000 streams worldwide. None of this would be possible without you guys, so I thank you so very much. And yes, we're going into springtime. It's getting a little warmer outside, which means you may need to spruce up your house or maybe possibly look for a new house. So today we have with us real estate expert to the stars and beyond, the wonderful Myrline St. Hubert. Hey, Marlene.
Thank you. Hi, Ashley. How are you? I'm so happy to be with you guys today.
Thank you so much for joining us. Marlene, let everyone know, where are you from? Where are you representing today?
I am from New York.
Woo-hoo.
I grew up in New York, went to school in New York. I'm all about New York. But I do live between New York and Florida. But I am a diehard New Yorker from New York, raised in New York. I mean, Yankees fitted on New York. Like, yes. I'm so New York. It's not even funny. But I also represent Miami. I have a lot of love for Miami. But, yeah, I'm from New York. I'm from Long Island, New York. Grew up in Long Island, New York. Lived in New York City for years. And that's where I rep more than any other place.
Gotcha. Okay, yes, and I can feel the Apple love. I'm a New York native. You know what I'm saying? I got BX tatted on my heart. Right. It's on my heart right there.
That's right. It never goes away. It doesn't matter where you're at. It never goes away.
It doesn't matter. I love it. All right, so Marlene, you're a successful real estate investor in New York. Tell us about why you felt so compelled to launch a new business in the middle of a pandemic.
So, I'm the owner of New Me Homes, which is a boutique hospitality and relocation firm. Mm-hmm. Primarily, we deal with corporate housing customers. So, if you have a C-level executive that is traveling from another city that needs to be in the Wall Street area or any of our locations, Miami, Boston, Atlanta, if you have an executive that's traveling and they're going to be in town for about 2 weeks to a month, most likely I would house them. And our apartments are really luxurious. They are a plug-and-play mentality, which means that everything is already set up for you. Your table, your Wi-Fi, your cooking utensils, eating utensils, everything. You just show up with your luggage and the home is already there. It's as if it was already yours. So you can imagine when the pandemic hit how my business was really impacted because no one was traveling. So I had all of these apartments sitting vacant and I was taking a lot of losses in revenue. And I was basically being held, I was basically being dealt a bad hand, and I had to figure something out, and I decided to pivot. It was kind of like you get lemon and you make lemonade. So I decided to pivot, and I went one evening and I was looking into all of our reviews, and I noticed that most of my guests always complimented the scents in my apartment, how well they smell. They loved the decor in my apartment. So I knew I had two things that I can use to keep my brand alive because during the pandemic, it was a time of uncertainty. We had no idea what was going on. And my goal was to keep the brand alive. So I decided to contact my vendor that I get my candles from and wanted to partner with them and said, hey, you know what? Everyone loves our scents. Everyone thinks that my apartments smell amazing. So let's try to partner together and do a scent collab and candle collab. And they said, listen, we don't even have to do a collaboration. We'll work something out with you. And that's how Moods by New Me was born. Because in a world of uncertainty, in a world where we had no idea what was next, everyone was home. You were just kind of like in your house. You weren't going anywhere. You were social distancing from your loved ones. I wanted to create something that would put everyone's mind at ease. And I love candles. I enjoy them. They're one of the things that I like just for any occasion, if I'm taking a bubble bath or if I'm reading. So I said, you know what, I want something to bring into people's homes that'll remind them of my brand, to just keep the brand alive while this is happening.
I love that. Yes, that is incredible. I mean, and it's just the innovation. A lot of brands have had to just innovate in the middle of the pandemic. I mean, it's sink or swim. That's incredible.
Yeah, it really was. It really was a time of uncertainty and internal chaos and conflict. You know, you're losing money, your business is not making any money. And it's not just you, it's everyone. And then you're hearing these horrible numbers of people passing on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're scared, you know, somebody coughs next to you, you're ready to pass out.
Yeah.
Like it was just a lot. I remember one time I needed to sneeze, and I finally went out to the grocery store, and I had to sneeze, and I'm sitting there holding my sneeze, because if I sneeze, maybe somebody else think I'm sick.
Yeah.
So it was just a time of uncertainty, and I wanted to just do something that would put everyone at ease and still keep the brand going, and something that truly represented my brand. My brand has always been a luxury brand, and I wanted to bring luxury scents into the home.
I love that. Now, your candle scents and home sprays are so uniquely inspired by New York and Miami, obviously. But outside of actually living in those places, what made it so unique? Why did you choose those?
Well, I also really wanted to pay homage to those places. I mean, I am from New York.
Right.
And New York, sometimes it gets a bad rep. You know, to New York is the best place on the planet. And to a lot of other people, it could be too. But New York is really a multifaceted city. It's very diverse. And, you know, we have the hustle and bustle of Wall Street, but we also have Fifth Avenue, where you have the best in fine shopping and fine dining and luxury goods. And you walk into a spa, and the scent of the spa will just relax you. You walk into a luxury boutique, and you just don't want to leave. You feel like you just have to buy something. It just feels so good. Yeah. And they have perfumeries that they work with to actually create that scent and that aroma in that space, because they're catering to a particular group of people who are ready to spend a lot of money. I felt like my clients and customers should get the same amount of attention to detail, and I wanted to create a scent for them that was totally New York. It's smoky with black tea and a little bit of rose and amber musk. It's like mysterious and sultry, and it's invigorating, and I just loved it. It's very sexy, and I really wanted to. I smelled it, and I was like, this is totally New York. I really want this scent to represent New York. I mean, it was always the scent that we used in our New York apartment, too. Right. And we've gotten a lot of compliments for it. So I said, if I can't bring my clients to me, I'm going to bring me to them. You know, if they can't travel and come stay in one of our apartments in the city, overlooking Central Park, or, you know, which is why I call it Fifth Avenue, because we have apartments on Central Park South, and you can see both Central Park West and Fifth Avenue from the windows, and you have a nice view of the park. And I wanted to bring that to them because they couldn't come, they couldn't travel. Right. And so that was the reason why I decided to name it Fifth Avenue. Same thing with the Ball Harbor scent. You know, I decided to travel to Ball Harbor when I was looking for properties out there. And I fell in love with the place. You know, it doesn't get enough attention. It's not the South Beach of Miami, but it is a very nice area. It's very luxurious. The beaches are nice, and it's just very serene, and I love it. I decided to name my other scent after it, which was a scent that's composed of like white tea, little hints of ginger, some lily, so it's very cleansing and uplifting and revitalizing. And it's just, to me, Miami is like a city full of spice and energy, and that's what I felt from Ball Harbor. I remember staying in Ball Harbor with two of my best friends, and we were just so into the energy of the atmosphere. And I really feel like this sense, when I close my eyes, it brings me there.
Yes. I mean, just your description of both really just put me in the mind space. You know, as I say, I'm a proud native, of New York. So, I can reminisce on that, but then also having, been to Florida dozens, bajugles of times just throughout childhood and, adulthood. You really worked, you architect that whole, that scent profile. That's incredible. That's outstanding.
Thank you.
You did that thing.
Thank you. It was very important to us. It was very important to me because, like I said, people are home and they need a little lift me up in their homes. And whatever it is, self-care is a big movement right now.
Yes, it is.
And self-care doesn't necessarily mean, stepping out to go to the spa. Now self-care can just mean drawing a nice hot bath, lighting a candle, and grabbing a book while you sit in there and soak.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to be able to offer them something that they'll really enjoy, something that will put their mind at ease.
Yeah. Now, you're also very passionate. Yeah, absolutely. Now, you're also very passionate about home decor. And right now, with most of us still working from home, what advice would you give to anyone trying to create a productive space?
Well, it depends where you live. If you live in New York, where the apartments are like the closets, it can be a little difficult in terms of space. But you really have to find a nook to create a productive space, because the key is productivity.
Right.
I always advise my friends to kind of like find a little nook that's away from your TV. That's not going to conveniently face your television, because you want it to remain productive. Make sure it's well lit. It's away from distraction. I'm really big on declutter. You have to unclutter that space. You have to declutter that space in terms of having a good filing system, making sure you have everything you need that in an organized space, because I really feel like energy cannot really move and circulate in a cluttered space. The energy will just not be right. You understand? So I always tell everyone to make sure that your space is decluttered and that it's functional as well as beautiful, and you have good storage solutions in terms of like creating that little nook. And then you also want to keep something that makes you happy. With me, I always love a small flower arrangement. Sometimes I can put it on top of a stack of books. Of course, I light candles everywhere, so there's always a small candle there, because the scents are very important to me. But I'm really big on also keeping the place clean and clear so that your mind can be creative. And also, you want to find some motivational quotes. You can put that on your desk just to keep you going, and a little pick-me-up every now and then.
Yeah. Great tips. Awesome tips. Now, what are your 3 home decor must-haves? Like, those have to be essential in every home that you decorate and you set up for your clients.
Every home, including the homes that I live in, when you walk in, I'm big on scent. I'm big on scent. I feel like whenever I walk in, I want the home to just give me an experience. It doesn't matter if I'm there all day or if I'm out all day and I'm walking back in. It has to smell really good when I walk in. So that's always been a big must-have for me. Candles, especially our candles. I'm plugging our candles again. Especially our candles. They come in these beautiful glasses, and they're really pretty. There's form and function, because they're beautiful in the glass, but then they smell amazing and they burn for 70 hours. So candles have been a big part of my decor. Pillows, because I'm big on comfort. Throw pillows are very important to me. Even a throw blanket has always been a must-have for me. And every single home, including my home, but all of our units, all of our apartments, we have throw pillows and a nice throw. When you sit on the couch, there's always a nice throw. There's a nice throw pillows. And I love throw pillows because, we change our decor with the season. Speaking of my company, it was seasonal. So we would interchange the pillows in the throw based on the season and the colors. And so it was very easy. It was a way to pick up the place and bring in change without doing too much. So throw pillows are a really big way to decorate. And wall art has always been big for me. And if you don't want to spend a lot of money on wall art, listen, you can take a quote from your childhood that motivated you. I have quotes that my mom used to say to me. And I printed them out, I framed them, and I put them on the wall. And people notice them and think they're awesome. And I'm like, yeah, you don't really need a big budget.
Right.
You can have a nice frame and you print out one of your favorite quotes. It could be a biblical text. It could be a quote from your childhood. It could be a quote from a loved one. And you put it on your wall. But it has form and it has function. I'm big on form and function. It's not just about looking pretty, but what are you offering other than looking pretty? So when you have a quote up there, it's not only just looking pretty, but it's kind of like a motivational pick-me-up. It's a reminder. Sometimes you can just write, "You're awesome," or you can write, "Thank you."
Gotcha. Definitely. Now, last but certainly not least, Marlene, what advice could you offer to any struggling entrepreneur who may be on the verge of giving up due to the pandemic?
Girl.
Yeah, the struggle is real. Trust and believe. The struggle is real all the way around.
If I had $1 for every time, it is serious.
Mm-hmm.
It is serious. We're in a really weird space and a really weird time, and there are people who are just kind of like struggling, and they mean well, but you also have to understand that this is a time with uncertainty across the board, and you have to be easy with yourself. I've always given advice to my family and friends who come to me and say, "I just want to start a business. What's selling?" And I'm like, well, it doesn't quite work like that. I think my success is because I found something that I love.
Yeah.
I found something that I was passionate about. So even when times were hard and I didn't really want to keep going, I was motivated because there was a passion. There was a fire that burned inside of me that made me want to invest in real estate. It made me want to go out and buy apartments so I can lease them short term and decorate them. Every single step of it was fun to me. I look forward to getting up. So, I mean, my real advice is to persevere, not give up at all. Sometimes it may look dark, but really on the other side of adversity is always opportunity. That's how I've always seen it, and that's how it's always played out in my life. Yeah. I feel that if you are authentic to who you are, instead of trying to do whatever, like, just because this is selling doesn't mean that it's going to sell across the board for everyone. Find something that you love. Try to solve a problem. Yeah. You know, I'm pretty sure Jeff Bezos was probably like, he probably wanted to buy something, and he's like, I gotta wait till tomorrow when I go to the grocery to get this. No, and then Amazon was born. Now you can just do it from your phone, and it just conveniently shows up. You know, he solved the problem. He solved the problem that we didn't even really know we had. Like, I cannot imagine my life without Amazon now.
Yeah, it's impossible.
So it's really my advice to them, as cliche as it may sound, is to really persevere and keep going, keep pushing through.
I love it. Marlene, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate
you. It was
you.
my pleasure. I love the show. I'm so happy, and of course, to be here for International Women's Day. Thank you so very much for the opportunity and for sharing your platform with me.
Absolutely. Thank you. And let everyone know, of course, how they can get the products and, of course, to follow you on social media.
Of course. So we are on social media, Moods by Nume, on Instagram, MOODSBYNUME. We're also, our website is shopnume.com, and you will find us there.
All right, love it. Much more success to you, sister, and your whole team and everybody that's helping with the movement. We love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face, you tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.